So first of all, I want to welcome you to Toxin Magazine. My name is Shanique Bird, and I am here co-hosting along with Marquise Morrow.
Greetings.
Now, our special guest today, is the Sugarhill Gang. Could each of you introduce yourself one by one for us, please?
I'm the Master G, Masterg with a double E. That's how you spell it, in case you wondered.
What's going on, people? It's your boy DJ T Dynasty.
What's up, brother?
No doubt. And I'm Hen Dog, HENDOGG with 2 G's, you heard. And also I like to give a big shout out, rest in peace to our hip hop brothers, DMX, rest in peace, baby. Shock G, rest in peace, baby.
Whew. Wonder Mike is always here in spirit. Wonder Mike is a little bit more of not as tech savvy, but he's always here in spirit.
Right.
And so, yeah, we speak for Wonder Mike as well.
Right. If you want to shout
out him everywhere.
Wonder Mike.
And that dog, good looking out. Thank you. I appreciate it, brother.
No doubt.
All right.
All right. Did everybody respond?
Everybody down here on the bottom. I don't know.
All right. So tell us who Sugarhill actually is. When did you start in the music industry?
I guess that's my question. Well, we started in 1979 as far as officially recording, but between 77 to 79, I was rapping in the northern New Jersey area, Hackensack, Teaneck, and Englewood. And then, of course, we all met, and Sylvia had the concept. She had heard Starsky at a party in the city. She heard Starsky, and at that point, it hadn't been done on record. And she had a studio. She came from a doo-wop situation. She was with the Moments, so she had the facility, and then she had the concept, and then the three of us came together. She didn't want to choose between the three of us, so she put the three of us together, and that's how we ended up recording Rapper's Delight.
Now, when you think about hip-hop pioneers, I mean, Sugarhill Gang is definitely one of the pioneers of hip-hop. Do you think you all receive the credit you deserve?
Yeah, every time I hit the stage. Yep. And when I drive one of my expensive sports cars, or I, take care, buy something beautiful for my family. Absolutely. Life is good for us. We're very fortunate to be 41 years, to be able to work internationally. We tour all over the world. I mean, without COVID, we would have literally been on our way back to our flats in London. And, we tour the UK and Europe and Asia. And so we have a very good life as a result of this. So like, as far as, metallic achievements or accolades, I'm not really looking for that. That's not important to me. My energy and my love is the people that, we have Sugarhill Gang fans that are babies, and we have Sugarhill Gang fans that are, senior citizens. And that's what's happening.
Yeah. What's up, brothers? What I wanted to know is, once y'all made that record, how did the Bronx Crews accept y'all? Because, a lot of them thought, y'all wasn't a real crew. You were put together. This is not real hip hop, because, they was authentic. Not that y'all wasn't authentic, but I'm coming from their point of view. So how did the Bronx Crews accept the song and accept the group?
Initially, they didn't like it. Initially, they were very upset about the fact that, what they didn't understand was, as I said, I was already rapping at 16 years old because I had a little DJ group in my little neighborhood. So I was doing house parties and dance halls, and I had already got turned on to rapping through word of mouth from another DJ in my area. So I was already writing rhymes. I was already rhyming at parties. So what they didn't understand, and then back in those days, New York and New Jersey was like two different worlds. So I really wasn't familiar with what was going on in the Bronx, with the exception of when I went to see my grandmother in Mount Vernon, and they weren't really familiar with what was going on in Jersey, because back in those days, our area was considered the country. So, when we came out with the record, they didn't really feel like we were entitled to have that success for something that was going on in the Bronx, which we understood. but at the end of the day, the facts don't lie. We continued to keep putting records out.
Right.
And, eventually Mel and Scorp and Flash and everybody started coming over, and then they started touring with us and seeing our ability to, perform and, those different things. And the mutual respect was developed because we all realized that we were legitimately entitled to the achievements that we were occurring.
Marquise, and it's funny you asked about that because we just had Scorpio on our podcast. We just got off podcast on our podcast as Scorpio as a guest. So that subject definitely came up and it was discussed.
Oh, coincidence, because we all, like I think I told you, Hen, we all got the same family. Like I said, Mel gave me your number, so we all connected at the hip. And I got one more question. I'm gonna I don't know if I told you, but George is from the Black Excellence Festival. He's on it with us too. So after I ask this question, he's gonna come up and talk about that. So what I wanted to know, rest in peace to Big Bank Hank as well. At that time, did you guys know that he was taking Kaz's rhymes, or did you just thought he was nice like that?
Again, we're talking about two different worlds. You got to remember, in 1979, New Jersey and New York were two different planets. So what was going on in the Bronx was not the same thing. That information wasn't being transferred. So when Hank came to our pizza parlor in Inglewood, all we got was what he was saying he was. And he was a guy from the Bronx that made pizzas that rap. So we took him on face value that what he was saying was his, because the way that I understood rapping was anybody that rock the rap, you wrote it. Because every rap that I ever said, I wrote. I looked at rapping as rhythmic poetry. And because I'm a drummer, I heard it as beats. So I heard the words as beats and poetry, and then I put it together. So that's why I came up with the idea once I heard somebody else do it. So I assumed that Hank was doing the same thing, and so did Mike, because Mike got into rap in the same way. His cousin had a little DJ group in our area, turned him on to it. Mike heard what he had. Mike's a bass player, same thing. He heard the words, from a musician standpoint. Right. He started coming out with raps. So we didn't understand what was going on with Hank until much later on. The record had been cut. We were already, on our way. We were very successful at that point. And then that's when Mel and Scorp and everybody started making that migration to Sugarhill Records. That's when we found out about what was going on with Hank.
Oh, okay. That's deep. Go ahead, George, brother. George, you there?
First of all, yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
First of all, I am grateful. I'm grateful to be amongst legends and speaking with them. And I'm grateful for the platform that the editor of sitcom has provided, as well as Brother Marquise. He's connected to the B Festival as well. I'm Jorge Alvarez, Washington, Vice President of B Film Festival. And I have on the line with me some constituents you may know, Amelia Moore, who's on the line as well. And Mr. Nathan Smalls, the creator of the B Festival, is on the line as well. What we have is a beautiful festival, and we are setting precedents, and we are providing a historical moment. This is a Juneteenth festival, and we cannot have a festival Juneteenth celebrating our culture without hip hop. And you guys are hip hop legends. We love you. We appreciate you. We play your music. We follow you on social media. We go to your events, and we want everybody to come see you here at the B Festival. We love the fact that you guys are on board. We're excited about it. We even have tickets that we're giving to give away. We want to give to the magazine so they can give their subscribers the tickets to attend this event June 18th, June 19th at the Boardwalk, the Showboat Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Oh,
this is
show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All I know is where to go. All I know is where to go. Okay. Sorry.
You see, we got you all on the tip.
That does nothing for me. That
love
guy
it?
right there, when he tells me, or that guy, or the other guy, all I know is where to go. I'm with you. I got it now. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
We got it now. Yep.
Got it.
So we're excited that you guys are coming. Like I said, the Beat Festival, this is the inaugural, and we are looking to have great things to take place for the Beat Festival. We have panel discussions. We have the hip hop. Of course, you guys are the hip hop part of the hip hop show that we're doing, presenting that the Beat Festival is putting on, along with Grandmaster Flash, Furious 5, and a few other special guests. Won't reveal that. We'll get to that at another time. But I would like to thank you for coming on to this Zoom call. And I would like to thank you for personally making it part of your schedule to be a part of Black Excellence, which is a part of hip hop, to be a part of the BE Festival this coming Juneteenth.
We appreciate it.
No doubt.
Definitely want to get that up for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So your hit, Rapper's Delight, was the first.
Who did that? Who did that song? No, I'm just messing with you.
I'm like, wait a minute, am I wrong? I'm like, wait a minute now.
Not my record. No. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay, because you were throwing me off. I'm like, oh my God, what am I?
My fault.
He did that chicken song.
Okay, I'm gonna start all over. I see. This is why I can't be live, because it's like.
Oh, you never know with me anyway.
This is how it goes with us now.
Yeah.
There you go. Now you're laughing. Now we're good.
Loosen up. Relax.
So your hit, Rapper's Delight, was the first rap single to hit top 40 on the Billboard charts. Did you all think that would happen?
No. I thought it was going to be a regional record. I thought it was going to be very popular in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, the New York metropolitan area. I thought it was going to be big on the radio. I thought BLS would play it, and it would get some play. And, because you got to understand, when I cut Rapper's Delight, I was going to the 12th grade. So I'm thinking that, it'll be neat to go back to school, and I got a little notoriety, a little more popularity. And I also thought it would add to my little DJ thing, because now I had a little record, so I'd be able to get more gigs in the neighborhood. So I'm thinking regionally, I'm thinking locally. I had no clue that here we are 41 years later, and I've probably been to 30 different countries and performed in front of millions of people. And we got, the list goes on, 80 million downloads, blah, 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 blah. I never thought I was going to go into the military. That was my plan. My plan was to graduate high school and go into the Marines. That's what I wanted to do. I was getting out of Jersey.
Oh, wow. Now,
kind of changed.
Yes. And what's amazing about this is, does anyone else want to answer that question? I'm sorry.
They weren't there. Don't worry about them.
Oh.
No. No, I'm sorry. I'm the elder statesman in this setup, so it's all good. We chime in when we need to.
Yeah, we chime in when we need to.
Okay, just making sure. So what's amazing is, once the single went to the Billboard charts, could anybody deny that you guys were one of the best, hip hop groups at that time? Because I know there's a lot of debate, but when you get your accolades at that time, I don't think it can be debated. What are your thoughts?
Facts are the facts. The facts are the facts. We're the first platinum selling group. We're the first group to make millions of dollars. We're the first group to tour the world. We're the first group to be on national television. We're the first commercially successful rap group on the planet Earth. Period. Point blank. Before there was a Jay-Z, before there was a Puffy, there was a Wonder Mike and a Master G. And that's a fact. And that's just it.
All about the facts. You guys were there. You're the first.
Before us, it was a street thing. It was, everybody was trying to do whatever they were doing before us. And then it's before us and it's after us. So that's just how it works.
Right.
Greetings. Now you talk about you actually are the first hip hop superstars. The first one to do just about everybody's following now. Basically, you did what they doing now 40 years ago.
Yep.
So I want people to know, a lot of people don't know about Sylvia Robinson, because when they talk about hip hop, if you're not in that circle, you don't know nothing about Sylvia Robinson, who people don't know that there was a lady who's responsible for hip hop being known by the world, or the first responsible person, if you want to put it that way.
Yep.
So I would like you to real quick explain the genius and the insight of Sylvia Robinson to see something that it was so small at the time, but made it now you can't miss it. It's everywhere. The genius of Sylvia Robinson.
That's a good one, and we talk about that a lot.
Yeah,
I think Sylvia was already musically gifted. You know, she was a singer herself. She was with a guy named Mickey way back in the day. They had a record called Love Is Strange. You ever watch the Dirty Dancing soundtrack? Love Is Strange. That's Sylvia, Mickey and Sylvia. Yep. Then she morphed into another situation where she started producing and writing for another group called The Moments, which of course everybody eventually knows as Ray Goodman and Brown. So she already had that, you know, ideal concept ability to create and the foresight to be able to see things. She had like a visionary mindset. And as I said, she went to a party, Harlem World, and Starsky, rest his soul, she heard Starsky rapping, and that's what gave her the ideal to do it. And because she already had the foundation and she already had the setup, her whole thing was, somebody needs to put this on record, because at the time it really hadn't been done.
Right.
And not only did she have the insight to do that, you have to understand that Sylvia is responsible for some of the most significant records in the history of hip hop. Sylvia produced Rapper's Delight. She produced Apache. She produced White Lines. She produced The Message. Those are four of the most recognized hip hop records in the world. And Sylvia produced and had the insight to do all of that music. Not to mention all the other Kool Moe D and you know, all the other individuals that came into you know, Sugarhill Records and put all of that into equation. So musically, she was amazing. Songwriting, she contributed. You know, a lot of times some people just put their name on a song so that they can collect, you know, the publishing, whatever. Sylvia actually contributed to the writing of the song lyrically and musically. A lot of that was very she was instrumental and definitely pivotal in that whole situation over there. Sugar.
The thing that I really hate, Marquise, is the fact that by, you know, of course, by her being a woman, you know, she don't get the proper credit that she deserves. You know what I mean? It's hard for a woman to get any type of, you know, accolades and credit and get her flowers for anything. Just think, you know, if a man had did what she had did, you know what I'm saying? You know, people would talk about it much more than they would, you know, if you know, by Sylvia doing it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good outlet. But do you? I'm sure that has something to do with it. But do you think the fact that she was from Jersey is a more reason that she doesn't get the accolades more so than she's a woman?
Well, there and again is the misinformation. She was actually from Harlem.
Right.
She's from Harlem. Yes, true.
Well, see, and again, let me put this out there because I'm originally from the New York area as well. Back in those days, when your family made a little bit more money and the parents was trying to give the kids a better life, one or two things happened. A lot of people either went to Long Island if you were closer out towards Queens, or like my people were in Brooklyn, and that area, you went to northern New Jersey because that Bergen County was like a 10-minute ride from the George Washington Bridge. So you could get into, you know, Manhattan, you know, Washington Heights and all that. You could get right into that. So Sylvia and them came from Harlem. Same thing. She had a family, her and Joe, they had kids and they wanted a better life for their kids. So they moved everybody out to Englewood. That's why she was out there. So Sylvia's from New York.
Okay. And one more quick question regarding that. Now you said Sylvia, she produced it. I'm asking, would it be more accurate to say that she reproduced songs like Rapper's Delight? Because who chose Good Time for that single? Who chose the song?
She did the research to ask a DJ who was doing parties in our area. Actually, he was in the group that Mike was down with.
Right.
She did the research to find out what was popping musically. And the DJ told her that Good Times was the beat. So she had the insight to not sample, because there was no sampling at that time. She had a band called Positive Force record that song. In other words, not just do the record over. She understood that it was all about the break. So she had somebody record it like somebody had mixed it. But of course, the only thing you didn't hear, of course, would be, you know, the blend. Plus that chord change, all that chord change stuff on there, that was Sylvia. And not only that, the doom doom duck, the beginning of it, right? Was Sylvia's idea too, and that came from another song. That was a song called "Here Comes That Sound." Here comes that sound again and again, again and again. It was a disco song, but she had the idea to take that piece and create that doom doom duck, doom 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 duck, doom doom. That's all Sylvia.
So she was a genius then.
That's why I'm trying to tell you.
Hello.
And this is what I'm asking because I don't know the end. I just know the results, but I don't know what builds up.
I'll give you another example. The message, the music for the message originally was more of like a tribal kind of thing. It was more tribal sounding. When she first heard it, that's what she did. It was her idea to change it from that tribal sounding kind of like jungle like thing to that do do ta do do ta. To do. She made it more danceable. That was her idea. The hook was brought to her and the idea was brought to her, but she with her team came up with the concept of that song. Once again, same thing, Sylvia.
And not only that, she produced the first successful all-girl group too.
Yeah.
Sequence. And when you said Positive Force, do you mean to tell me what you see?
No, I mean, we got the funk, we got it, we got the funk, yeah. Bernard's got
on the other side is tell me what you see. So we are talking about the same one.
Talking about the same group, yeah. Because see, Positive Force at the time was the group that she was trying to bring to the world. They had already been there. They had cut We Got the Funk, and that was what they were getting ready to do. They were gonna go behind Positive Force until she happened to go to the party. It was her birthday, so they took her to the party, and she happened to hear it while that was going on. So it was almost like they kind of put Positive Force on the shelf and focused on us.
Sugarhill Gang. This is history right here. School's open. Go ahead, Shanique.
Now you said something about Good Times.
Yeah.
Could you clarify what exactly is Good Times?
Yes. So in '79, there was the group that people know as Chic. The group Chic, Bernard Edwards and Nile Rodgers, the guitar and bass and writers. They wrote "We Are Family." They wrote Donna. What's her name? What's my man?
Diana Ross.
She did
Freak Out.
So they wrote this song, "Good Times." It was the song of the summer. You know, it's good times. We are good time, and in Good Times, there is back of which now people know what a break is. But the break in Good Times was the good time. Doom, 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 doom. That was the break. So then, you know, the idea was it was such a timing wise, it was so great to rap on that DJs would just keep extending the boom, the bass line. And so that's why everybody calls it Chic, you know, or Good Times. And that was the concept. You know, Good Times was the break beat of the summer. And that's what was suggested to her to go with. Because I tell people this all the time. Had they asked me, I would have said Dance to the Drummer's Beat. Because back in them days, I was spinning and rapping on top of Dance to the Drummer's Beat. So if they would have said, well, what do you think we should use? I would have said that. I'm glad they chose Good Times, though.
That was perfect.
I would have been wrong.
So back in those times, 40 years ago, were hip hop artists beefing? So did you have beef with another artist? Did anybody think that you were stealing their sound? How was that back then?
No, you have to remember, we have to always keep in context that because we're the first, we circumvented everything. When Rappers Delight, by the time 6 months after Rappers Delight came out, I was on tour with Funkadelic. So, you know, whatever was going on with whatever in the street, I had nothing to do with it. I was on Soul Train, and it was a different. Our reality was different. I went from doing parties in people's basement to touring with Funkadelic. I mean, literally. So that whole hip hop scene was actually happening while I was experiencing being on a professional recording artist level.
So when I say that, for example, you guys were the first, let's say, to go mainstream.
Yeah.
Is there anyone saying that you know, kind of the street part of it where it was underground? Is there any underground people saying like, oh, well, that was my sound and, you know, they kind of use that? Nobody's saying that?
No, because we were individuals to ourselves. I have my own sound, even to this day, you know, and I'm thankful every day that, you know, that this happens. I can literally get on a stage and a person will say, I know that's you. The minute they hear me do any song, they say, oh man, and people ask me, they're like, how is it that you're still able to sound like you 40 something years later? Mike has his own sound. God rest his soul. Hank had his own sound. So in all of our music, no matter what we do, people know it's us. We have our own identity. We've never sound like anybody else. We've never tried to sound like anybody else. And you got to remember also, there was nobody else for us to sound like.
Exactly.
You know, when I write a song, I don't write a song thinking, well, let me think about, you know, what song. I write a song from the way I write a song, because that's always what I've done. I've always wrote lyrics based on how I felt. Now, there might be things that I hear around. Musically, it might sound like something else, but vocally, even the way that I use words, I'm not thinking about Jay-Z. You're not taking anything away from him. I think he's an incredible person, but I don't say, well, I want to write a Jay-Z like song. I don't think that way. I write a Master G song because I'm Master G, you know?
See, we grew up listening to, you know, Ohio Players, Marvin Gaye, you know what I'm saying? Earth, Wind and Fire. You know, those are our heroes. Stevie Wonder, you know.
Such a commercialized market with rapping.
Yes.
Do you think you all would have had the same success coming out at this time where everything sounds the same?
I think that at that point, you know, being 18, 19 years old, having, you know, we were fortunate. We're very fortunate people. You know, everybody, some people have what it takes to cut through the mustard. It's like going to the pros. It's like certain people can only play in the park. Certain people can, but then there's that guy or there's that group of guys that they just, you know, they're going pro, you know, just by how they move. And I've been having major epiphanies. I've been having major epiphanies in my life. My whole upbringing was gearing me to be Master G. I mean, you know, my mother taught me about clothes and she taught me how to be independent. And my father was a recording engineer. So we had a studio in our basement. I was playing drums at a young age. You follow me? I mean, all these different roads led me to be this person. I was given the opportunity to be creative. You know, they always embraced what I did creatively. So it was like, you know, like Tiger Woods being groomed to play golf. I was groomed to be who I am today. I mean, literally point blank. Same thing with Mike. Same thing with Hank. You know, so the answer to your question is, we would have still been successful with that same setup. You know, 18 years old today, you know, whatever. We would have been, it was in the cards for Guy O'Brien, Michael Wright, and Henry Jackson to be successful. It's just kind of how what it was meant to be.
And plus, too, you have to take into consideration that now, you know, everything is viral. You know what I mean? You know, it's computer, you know, it's streaming platforms and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think if, let's say, Sugarhill Gang, you know, 2021, if we had the same streaming platform, everything, our fans are going to be our fans no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And just like today, we've never lost our fans. I mean, you know, I remember being backstage at the Apollo with the OJs, and they told me that, yo, you know, an artist with a hit record can be here today and gone tomorrow. But if you have a hit act with a hit record, they can work forever.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, man, did Wonder Mike ever play basketball? Because he's 9 feet tall, man.
No, Mike was a football player.
Football guy.
Yeah, he's got an arm like a quarterback. Incredible. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I never got a chance to ask him, even though we're in the same circle. But I just want to step to him and say, "Yo, you
Football
ever
player.
play basketball?"
Marquise, I want to tell you one funny story about that real quick.
All right.
Like, watching basketball on TV, right? Me and Mike used to sit there and we watch. I love basketball. So Mike sit here with me, he'll watch a game and stuff. And, we used to be Net fans when Jason Kidd was playing for the New Jersey Nets. And he would see Jason Kidd. He said, he must be a midget. He's the smallest guy out there on the court because he's a point guard. So when we did the halftime show for New Jersey Nets and the Washington Wizards, he got to see Jason Kidd for the first time, and he looked up at Jason. He said, "Damn!"
It looks small on TV.
How tall basketball players were.
Dig it. So Jorge, you got something you want to say about either personal question or more about the festival and tickets?
Master G, my mellow. No, listen. After hearing that basketball story, we have the Rucker at the BE Festival this year.
Oh, the Rucker
and
here?
Yes, official. Yes, we have official. Huh?
The official Rucker?
Yes.
Wow, this is gonna be interesting.
Listen, y'all got to come through. You have got to come through. Fat Joe, he's the most serious one out of all the squads. So he's ready. We did a podcast with him early on when we were advertising and marketing, getting you guys involved, etc. But two things. We are so excited to have you guys. There is somebody on the line. Amelia Moore is on the line. I want her to say something on behalf of the Beast. She's a part of the Beast. She's hosting the film festival for the Beast Festival. And she is, of course, she's the general manager of Rough Rider Records. And of course, and she's on the line. And go ahead, Amelia, unmute yourself. She's still there.
Yeah, she's.
Can't hear you.
You can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself.
Sorry, I was like, "What's up, Master G?" I don't know if you remember me, but I've interviewed you a few times. What's the 411? UBC TV.
I'm 60 now, so I got the can't remember Jack disease. So, but wonderful. Peace and blessings, and right on. Good to see you again.
Likewise, I'm very excited to have you guys here. I mean, when you think about Black excellence and what you guys did as far as breaking the barriers for hip hop, it's an automatic personification of the imagery that we're trying to put out. So thank you so much for being part of this. This is exciting. I had two questions, if I may, because Oh, okay. Thank you, Shanique. First of all, no, I'm speaking to all three of you. The business has changed so much, and you guys were right there from the beginning. How did you keep on adapting your business model to stay relevant? Because you guys have succeeded and superseded, in comparison to so many of the other, true school, because that's what I love to call you guys, artists that really. Thank you. That's really the foundation of hip hop and the culture of hip hop. How did you guys keep on adapting to the changes?
That's a good question, and we've had a lot of bumps and bruises to become successful financially. Early on, it was a lot of helter skelter with the business. In our situation, things were a little different. I stepped away from the group for a long time. And I went into business myself. I created and built very successful businesses for over a couple of decades. And so that business acumen brought me the ability, once I combined and we got back together with these two cats, we were able to put ourselves in a situation where we were properly covered, and we went on the assault. We actually were very proactive with, putting forth the energies to make things that needed to be right. And with that being said, time evolved, things went into situations, and we were able to manifest, like you said. Unfortunately, in our situation, there's a lot of cats that didn't have those opportunities. So they're not they're not allowed to be, and then they haven't been put into the same, like you said, the licensing, the sync deals, the downloads, all of those are all part of our existence. And, we're very fortunate because of that. But it had a lot to do with, bumps and bruises and kicking and scraping. So we're glossy now, but it was saucy for a while.
And plus $2 million, it has a lot to do with building relationships and reinventing yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And also, we were fortunate to tour overseas so much, and we came to the attention of Bob Sinclair, and we did a #1 record with him in 2009. And that went #1. And we have a current single out now that has over 2 million views on YouTube called Someone Like You. So it's all about keeping yourself, relevant, keeping in the game. You know what I mean?
The international aspect of us was part of the foundation of that pursuit. The ability to be able to tour in other countries when we weren't able to, at one point, couldn't even use the Sugarhill Gang name,
Right. I remember that.
At one point, yeah. Because international law is different from domestic law, we were able to make that happen. But that doesn't necessarily make you a successful situation unless there's a demand for you. And that, again, because of the major status of the group's music, the demand for us has always been huge in all parts of the world, so that saved us.
And then my second question was, to me, you guys personify the keepers of the culture, right? And you're coming out with the new music. And by the way, I love your new single. When you went back into the studio thinking about the brand of Sugarhill Gang and then coming out with your new music and looking at the marketplace, what was that conversation like? Like, did you say, because I know when you guys first started, the rules was originality, being your own person, being your own brand, and you guys have manifested that. But then now it's like all of this, stay in the lane, there really is a division between rap and hip hop. But how did you guys, what was that conversation like when you said, all right, we're going back in the studio?
We never left. We never got out of the studio.
That's true.
The actual introduction to me even being a part of this version of Sugarhill now was that I was pitched the idea about creating new music in 2005. That's actually how we even put this version of what we're doing together. So it's always been what we want to create. It's never been it's never been like we want to put a record out like Nas X. I'm happy that the young man is doing well, but I don't give a damn what he's doing. That's his business. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put out a record that I feel good about. Like, we did the record with the Someone Like You record. That was a record that we felt good about. We did the Bob Sinclair record. That was something that we felt good about doing. I'll be honest with you, and it is a little bit of a cocky situation, but if I'm not interested and I don't like what's going on, I'm not doing it, and I don't have to. So if it goes into a situation where, we trying to do what so-and-so, that's not going to, I can promise you that's not going to be what happens.
Right.
If we can't be ourselves and we can't maintain the integrity of the kind of men that we are and the kind of business that we do and the kind of music that we create based on what's going on. Now, I'm not going to try to write a song that sounds like, 79 because I'm not living in 79. So what's going to happen is technology wise, music, instrument wise, lyrically, there's things that's happening. So it's going to be a current song, but it's not going to be a song based on what we heard somebody else do. That's not, because we got our own fan base. We got our fans.
Oh yeah. President accounted fan right here. So thank you so much. I mean, this is so cool for me to be able to be talking with you guys again.
Thank you so much.
Told us years ago in a show, a guy brought his 10-year-old grandchild to the show, and he said, I want you to see this. And every time we did a show since then, and we've been doing shows with Grandmaster Melly Mel and Scorpio for the last 7 years and all the rest of the stuff, we know that anybody can come see our show. You could bring your kids to our show. Ain't nobody puffing up nothing. Ain't nobody calling no woman out their name. We don't act derogatory. We don't
Right.
women. We don't. Ain't no F you coming out of our mouth. Ain't no F. It's not about the show. At the end of the show, we've had a good time. You had a great night. And when G tells you good night, you know you had a great night. This is like, ain't nobody getting shot. Ain't nobody getting killed here.
Right.
A damn good time, and then go home and talk about it.
Right. You don't know how many times we've heard people come up to us and say, well, I've seen the Beatles, I've seen the Rolling Stones, and I've seen you guys. Now I can die.
I love that. Mission completed, cipher complete. Yes.
And you
I wouldn't have said it that way, but that's what they say, you know. That's what they say.
And you sitting as my girl Siobhan. I went to school with her over there.
Yes.
That's my girl Siobhan Dean. Me and her, man, cool. Tell her I said, hey, you know, love that girl to death.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an era like none other. It was an era like none other. I don't regret it at all. I would do it all over again. Like you said, the bumps and the bruises and learning. Sheesh, that was a school of hard knocks, but I loved every minute of it.
Part of the
we
process.
made history. We made
part of the process. Yeah. It's part of
it helps make you who you are today.
No, absolutely.
And, you know, it's so funny when you talk about transitioning, you know, like I'm no longer a record executive. I'm now talent. And it's really fun to see, you know, when you talked about deciding on your brand and what that is and what's the core of you, you know, I actually had to go through that process. So that's why I asked that question, because I know that it's a cognitive thing. You know what I mean? A creatively cognitive thing, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Listen. This is such a collaborative effort. This is like talking to someone that you knew about when you were young. Now we're older and we're having a conversation.
I agree.
That's rare. And you mentioned earlier, which you guys epitomize respect. You guys epitomize upward mobility and Black excellence from the beginning.
Thank you.
From the beginning, and you still have that, but now you just have a little bit more knowledge and a lot more money. So with that being said, we have got to collaborate with the magazine that set this platform, Brother Marquise. I don't know if y'all seen Brother Marquise gear, but man,
Shanique Bird. Shanique Bird is the driver of the ship.
The driver, the creator. And listen, this is the year of the women. This is the year of the women. The queens are really doing it big. As you notice, I have Amelia on my team, and y'all gonna meet other females that are executives that are part of the Bee Festival. But I am so excited, and I really gotta, Shanique, I really want to commend you. I really want to thank you. I really want to extend a welcome arm to the Bee Film Festival. Bring your backdrop, bring all of that. Let's talk about that. But
I just want to say that the most influential and inspirational people in my life have always been women. So for me, I'm 100% on board with, you know, the fact that women definitely deserve the props that they haven't been getting but should be getting, because you guys are the foundation of everything.
Absolutely.
Said and done.
No question.
Thank you.
No
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you just a few more questions before we disappear. I got a few more relevant questions, I think, and then I want a quick quiz for each of you. Now, do you consider yourselves rappers or MCs?
I'm a rapper.
You're a rapper?
Yeah, I'm a rapper.
Do you
I know the difference?
Yes, I'm sure you do. You do.
I'm a rapper.
I know you can't literally speak for them, but do you think that Mike feels the same way and Hank felt the same way?
So that's a good question. We're not really asked that. To me, a rapper is a person that does what I do. You lyrically come up with songs, you know, you come up with stories, you move the crowd based on the way you present your stories. You know, like 12 o'clock one Friday night, I was rocking to the beat, feeling all right. Everybody was dancing on the floor, doing all the things they did before. This fly girl with a sexy lean came into the party. She came into the scene. As she traveled deeper inside the room, all the fellas checked out her white Sassoons. That's a real story. That's about my oldest son's mother. That's a story. So that's what a rapper does. A rapper, and he moves the crowd based on that. Hank, hotel, motel, holiday, it's up my back, it's around my neck. That to me is an MC, a person that is going to move the crowd, that's going to hype you up, that's going to get you excited. He compliments in a group like ours. Hank would compliment what Mike and myself did. So Hank was more of an MC, and Mike and I, in my definition, are more rappers.
So what I'd like to hear from you guys is, what's next? What do you hope to see for your future endeavors?
Oh, everything's next. We're working on, everything. You name it. Like I said, we got a podcast, and I'm involved in film and television, and
we got new music.
We got new music coming out. We're getting ready to go back out on the road, as we said, now that everything's starting to get back to normal. We're all vaccinated. And by the way, everybody get your vaccine. We all are completely vaccinated. We're good to go. It's all good. We're sitting, we're in great shape and, and healthy. So our road is so wide, and our opportunity. We're being brought things every day. We're being offered projects in every way. I just got, I was named executive director of the hip hop situation down here in DC. So there's so many different things going on for us, and we're just thankful.
Doing a single with Idris Elba.
Yeah, we're doing. We've done. We've already done some vocals already for a single with Idris Elba. We did a project with Arrested Development. We got so many things happening.
Now, tell us a little about the podcast.
So it's the Sugarhill Gang podcast. And Diamond, tell us what the podcast is all about.
Well, check it out. This is about exploring music, culture, hip hop. This is everything, the broad spectrum. And what we do is we tell stories and we talk to everybody. So why not share those stories with the world? Stuff that people don't know about, stuff people do know about. In fact, last episode that we did, they all discovered something about a song that they did together. G and Scorp shared a story, and they both did. The song Showdown, neither knew what was going on. One thought it was a competition, a showdown, and the other guys was just doing music. So they learned about that today. That's the kind of podcast.
Oh, wow.
And we do, and we've done Talib Kweli, we've done Aloe Black, we've done Dougie, we've done we've done everybody. We've done so many. DJ Cassidy,
Houston.
So we got a lot of folks on the podcast. It's exciting.
Got my boy EFN from Drink Champs.
EDF.
We have to do his show too. He wants us to come to Miami to do his show.
The podcast is just another opportunity for us to reinvent ourselves. Again, it's bringing me into the 21st century, and I'm having a lot of fun because I really didn't know that we had that kind of excitement, for us as individuals. I knew when we go on stage, I know, but I'm not the most public figure, so I wasn't really moving in different circles. But the podcast has given me an opportunity to have some one-on-one dialogue with some pretty cool people and find out the love is amazing. So that's a cool thing.
The other thing is that for all of you who don't know, that we also have a live situation where G's on the drums, Mike is on the bass, Henry's on keyboards, I'm on keyboards, percussion and vocals. And we did it with Scorp and Mel was out in the front and Scorp was on the drums. We had a live situation. If y'all don't want to see it, y'all can check out that was from the Formula One.
Singapore.
And you just play live. Like it's a shock to most people because they'll see instruments on the stage and they think another band is going to come on, and then the guys drop back and we start playing the instruments and jamming, and nobody knows what the hell to do with that because they're like, what the hell just happened? What was so you were talking about the core of what's going on and what's going to be. It's still more to come.
Now, before we end this, I do want to give you all a chance to tell your fans where they can follow you, how they can stay updated, the links to the podcast, all that information.
Hen.
All right, no doubt. If you want to check out the Sugarhill Gang, what we're doing, you can go to Sugarhill Gang webpage, Sugarhill Gang Instagram, IG. You know what I'm saying? You can go to all of the streaming platforms. You know, we got new music coming out. You can hear about that on Facebook, Instagram. You know what I'm saying? And also you can go to all of the other platforms to check out everything that we're doing, you know, from our tour schedule, from, you know, the podcast, and from all the new music and everything that we're doing.
And then you can go to the Real Master G. If you want to go to my Instagram, I actually have my own Instagram too. So you can hit me up.
We have our personal Instagrams. Yep.
Yeah. And then also on Clubhouse, I'm on Clubhouse a lot. So, you know, I'm engaged in a lot of different situations on the Clubhouse platform. And then, you know, if you watch our show, you can, you know, like the show and, you know, go to the Instagram stories, you know, put it up there, hit the notification, and make it happen on that level.
Now, is there anything else you all would like to add to this? Anything that you think we missed that we should add to this interview?
Yeah, I think that people need to understand that, you know, we're all about love and good music. You know, we feel like if the world has more love and good music, that things would be a whole lot better. You know, you got to think about what happens when you engage in a situation where the energy is going back and forth between people of all walks, all religions, races, creeds, colors. When the music and the love is there, it's just a combination of, you know, good vibrations. So at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Be an individual that's giving out love, because if you give love, you'll get love. And you know, and then music is the universal language, and that's why we can bridge the gap. That's why there's really no color bar when it comes to music, you know. So that's really what's happening. It's all about love and good music when it comes to
We have to keep putting out that positive energy. You know what I mean? Because as long as you keep that positive energy around you, you know, that negative energy can't get in. You know, it can't survive. We got to stay positive.
Bird, can we send a quick second for the BE Festival to tell them how people can get tickets and join along?
www.thebefestival.com. The Sugarhill Gang is coming. Be ready. Be there. Be excellent.
Get your popcorn ready.
Yes, I'm excited. Thank you all for joining us, and I look forward to hearing more from you.
My brother Hen Dog, peace. We'll be in touch. All right, Master G.
All right, now y'all be good.
You're not as tall as the rest of the gang, but you're still my man.
Oh yeah, I always will be. I'm always that guy. Y'all be good.
All right.
All right.